Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be talking about my fitness journey, how I went from looking like this to looking something like this. And it started all the way back in August 2023 when I decided that I was just unhappy with the way that I looked and I wanted to make a change in my life, and my fitness journey started right there on that day. Back in August of 2023, it had just been my birthday. I was feeling really down, really low about the way that I looked, and I weighed around 140 kg, which is massively over what I needed to be for my height and my size. I'm 6'2" for anyone wondering. So I decided I needed to make a change, and I wasn't going to wait until the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year. I was just going to start. And that's exactly what I did. I signed up to the gym local to my house and went down there that same day. At first, I started slowly and I worked my way up to the point that I'm at now. I did a lot of cardio when I originally started going to the gym, and I wasn't really overly focused on what I was eating, just that I was being more active. At first, I was visiting the gym 3 or 4 times a week, doing around 40 minutes cardio and 20 minutes weights, which is a pretty skewed balance, you would say, for an average gym goer. Normal gym goer would do sort of a regular 10 minutes of warm-up cardio and then go and do some weights for the rest of their session. Maybe do 45 minutes to an hour if they're really pushing that session. But when I started, I knew that my main goal was weight loss, and I really knew that I needed to get my body moving. So I ran, I did the bike, and I walked as much as I could. And then I did little bits of weights on the side just to try and tone that muscle up as I was going along. And I really didn't have that much of a clue what I was doing. I wasn't into any of the specifics. I wasn't really cracking down on I need to do this on this day. I need to have, specific days for specific muscles. I was just getting in and just getting my body moving. And I would come out of the gym pouring with sweat, my t-shirt covered in sweat. But I never really minded. I just knew that was the start of my journey. And to get to where I wanted to be, I had to go through that phase at the beginning. At the start, the weight was falling off, and it was really, really easy to stay motivated because the more I was going, the more results I was seeing. And the turnaround felt like it was so quick. Everything I was doing in the gym, I felt like I was seeing the result of really, really quickly. That, combined with the fact that it was making me just feel so much better, was really a match made in heaven. And I started to fall in love with the gym. Not just being active, but also the mental health benefits of being in the gym as well. I work a desk job from home, and you can see my setup behind me. So I spend a lot of my time here in front of these 2 screens, and I really wasn't getting to move my body as much as I wanted to. So just having that time for myself, that 1 hour in the evening where I could get out and go and move my body, that was refreshing in a way that I didn't imagine it was going to be. At first, I thought it was just a means to an end, a way that I could get fit, a way that I could reach my goal, a journey, a point A to point B journey that was going to be really simple and really straightforward. But what actually happened was more of a complex journey with battles to overcome and personal bests, and just constantly trying to push myself and progress further and further to a point where I feel like I'm in fantastic shape. My goals now are crazy compared to when I first originally started. I mean, in my New Year's resolutions video, I mentioned I wanted to walk up a mountain, I wanted to run a marathon distance, and I wanted to lift an 130 kg bench press, which is something that I just never thought that I was going to be able to do when I started this journey. So then, let's flash forward to the start of this year. This is when my journey really took a step forward. I'd been struggling in the gym because the cardio was working, but the weight loss was starting to plateau. And I didn't really know what I needed to do to try and take that next step forward. That's when I decided I really need to look at my diet specifically. And I started my first cut in February of 2025. I'd enjoyed Christmas and I felt like I was ready to start to make another change, another step forward in my fitness journey. I was at a weight that I was kind of happy with, but I knew I still had more work to do to get to where I really wanted to be. And the next step wasn't just going to be continuing to go to the gym. And that's something that people don't really talk about when you first start going to the gym. It doesn't come as one sort of standard phase of weight loss. There's multiple journeys to go on within that same fitness journey. Originally, it was just move and you'll lose weight. Then it was move and eat slightly less and you'll lose weight. Move, eat slightly less, and lift heavier weights and progressively overload to lose more weight and build more muscle. So it really is a gradually building journey, and I had to learn that the hard way by hitting plateaus, feeling frustrated, and not really knowing where to turn to get the next step. So I did what any person at the start of 2025 would do and turned to ChatGPT for some help. And what ChatGPT done was provide me with a really specific cut plan, starting with a calorie allowance and working my way down into a deeper and deeper cut to the point where I was starting to lose around half a kg a week, which is pretty significant weight loss. And I upped my gym sessions to 5 times a week. So I was doing more gym sessions a week and I was eating less calories. It really took a toll on my body, but I made leaps and bounds forward. The weight started falling back off again. I went from 110 kg to 100 kg, dropped down below to 94 kg, where I felt like I could sit here and be happy forever at this weight. But I decided again, I want to progress. I want to keep going. I want to drive my journey onwards. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be. How do I do that? And I knew I needed to get slightly leaner to do that. I also wanted to build muscle, but one step at a time. I worked out what was going to work best for me in the gym. And essentially what I like doing is a bro split. Now, if you guys aren't into the gym or you don't go to the gym regularly, you don't lift weights, you're not into the sort of fitness scene, you might not know what a bro split is. So let me break it down for you. A bro split is essentially doing one body part on each part of the day until you've covered the whole of your body. For me personally, I like to do chest on a Monday, back and shoulders on a Tuesday, legs on a Wednesday, arms on a Thursday, and then on a Friday, I'll do arms and a bit more chest. Those are the two body parts which I would like to do some further work on essentially, so I hit those twice a week. I also do 2 ab sessions a week as well. Now, my life with 2 kids, with work, is not always as simple as Monday to Friday in the gym. So, just break that down into day 1 through 5. And I kind of go throughout the week whenever I can make it make sense. A lot of the time it's late at night because I have to put the kids to bed first before I go. But it's been working for me and I've been staying consistent for over 2 years now. I also look after my body in other ways. I take creatine every day alongside a range of different vitamins to give me the nutrients that I need. I focus heavily on protein in my diet to try and make sure I get the most muscle growth. And I have a protein shake when I go to the gym as well. And a lot of the stuff that I found out about working out was all through YouTube, ChatGPT, research, looking online and trying to see what works for other people, but then applying it to what works for me. And I think if there's one takeaway I would want you guys to take away from this video, one piece of advice that I'd give to myself when I started is don't just follow what other people do. What other people do works really well for them, and that's why they get in the shape that they're in. But that doesn't mean that it's going to work in exactly the same way for you. Everybody has a different schedule, a different set of reliances, whether they have kids or partners or things that they just want to do every day. And you need to try and find what works for you. Now, that might not be a bro split. That might not be heavy cardio in the way that I done. That might just be finding a sport that you enjoy, swimming, walking, running, hiking, anything that just gets your body moving. And everybody's got a different goal. It's really easy to compare yourself to other people, to look at someone and say, in this amount of time, this is how much weight he lost. And I haven't done the same. And that might just be that your training goals are different or what you're working towards is different. Someone with a weight loss goal might be specifically cutting back their calories and losing weight and dropping off really, really quickly. Whereas someone with a muscle gain might be eating in a surplus in order to build additional muscle. So you really just have to take that into account in your own journey. It's really individual to you. Don't look at anyone else and what they're doing. Just focus on yourself. And every day, just get 1% better. And eventually, you'll end up exactly where you want to be. Now, getting in shape is fantastic. But when you add something new to your life, oftentimes you have to take something away. And this journey hasn't come without its sacrifices. I love tech and I'm an avid gamer. And something I used to enjoy was an hour to myself every day just to play some Call of Duty or just a game in general. And I realized very quickly that wasn't going to be able to continue. But the way I like to think of it is you're investing in yourself. I was spending so much time playing video games. The next year, the new one would come out, and all of that progress I had lost. Whereas now, when the new Call of Duty comes out, I don't lose my progress that I've done in the gym for that year. And I still get to play. I just have to do it in smaller chunks at times where it works for me, essentially. So a little bit on the weekend. Sometimes I'll stay up for a little bit later on a Friday night just to play with some of my friends like we used to. And it's a nice way. I get to enjoy it a bit more now than I used to. I used to find myself getting frustrated. I don't feel like that anymore towards games because I don't have the same pressure to perform well that I felt like I had before. There's also the conversation around food for nutrition versus food for enjoyment. And when you're counting calories, when you're crunching the numbers, and when everything you put in your mouth becomes a number, you can very quickly lose the enjoyment in food. And that's something that I have struggled with massively. I used to really enjoy food. I used to go to the shops and see something nice and think, oh, I'll have that. That looks lovely. Whereas now I see everything as a number, and that is really, really difficult. You have to weigh up what that item of food is going to give you in terms of nutritional value and in terms of long-term enjoyment. And sometimes a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips is a really, really accurate saying. Something that might taste great in the moment for those 3 bites that you get to enjoy it might just be delicious. But the long-term effects of that is that you don't get to hit your goals and you don't get to get where you want to be. And that's not to say that you can't enjoy the food. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% stick to your plan, make sure you're on target, and make sure you're hitting those goals. But don't forget the 20% enjoyment. And it's not just when you go on holiday or at Christmas, it's, find a normal day that you just want to have something that you've not had in a long time and really enjoy it. And oftentimes when you've not had something in a long time, you learn to enjoy it more. Like, for example, if I was to go to McDonald's now and have a burger, it's something that I don't often do now, but I used to do it quite a lot in the past, hence the weight. So I really do savor and enjoy the things that I enjoy now, and I make time for them. But I've also learned to like new things like curators, for example. I don't know whether you guys have tried those. Those are delicious, and the macros on them are insane if you're trying to lose weight and gain muscle. So there's lots of little things that you can switch out and enjoy, but do it one step at a time, do it at your own pace. And don't forget to enjoy life every once in a while, because not everything is about regime and routine and hitting your goals. It's important, but you also need to enjoy life. You can't forget that bit when you're going into your fitness journey. Don't forget the things you enjoy. just do them and enjoy them in moderation. Reaching your goals is generally the hard bit, but once you get there, you can start to enjoy, and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. The countless hours in the gym, the early morning runs, anything that you do to stay fit. Once you reach a goal, you can maintain yourself there, and it's so much easier. You can start to eat to a normal, regular amount and enjoy your food like you used to do with more freedom. And that's something that I had come to before I decided to take on an additional cut phase before I go on my holiday in May. And that's the last point of the video, I guess, is your journey's never over. You just ebb and flow through the different motions. You set yourself new goals. I'm currently 86 and some change kg, down from 140 kg. So I've lost a humongous amount of weight, and I feel infinitely better for it. It's something that I'm very proud of myself for. And I just want to encourage you guys, if you are sat there and your New Year's resolution for 2026 was to get in shape, was to go after your dreams, don't let anything be a blocker to that. Don't tell yourself that you'll do it at the end of the week. Don't tell yourself that you'll do it at the end of the month. Not even tomorrow. Tomorrow is not good enough. Start today, little and often. Get out there, get yourself moving, and you can achieve your goals. You really can. Like I said, I was 140 kg. I hated the way that I looked. I didn't like taking pictures. I didn't like looking in the mirror. It was just a really torrid state to be in. And I knew I needed to turn my life around. And by doing that, by gaining that discipline, I also gained discipline in lots of other things as well. I've spoken about it multiple times on the channel. I'm on a massive over 500-day Duolingo streak, just from telling myself I want to learn something new. I want to better myself. And that's the mindset you have to have. No one's going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And I've ended up here. I set myself a goal to get a six-pack. I set myself a weight goal, which I've achieved. And I'm going to continue journeying and continuing to document this journey through the YouTube channel with you guys, so you can continue to see my progress, because I don't necessarily know what my new end goal is. I know that I want to get to around about 10% body fat, but then what? I don't know. I'm excited by the thought of not knowing what comes next. I'm excited by the thought of challenging myself to do more. So that's something that I'm going to be striving for this year for certain. If you guys have any questions, any at all, about my weight loss journey, what I take in terms of my supplements, what I eat in a day, any questions around fitness at all, please do leave them in the comments below and I'll answer all of them. I don't claim to be an expert in terms of fitness. I learned from my own mistakes. I learned from researching online and on YouTube. And I don't claim to be any sort of expert, but I am more than happy to give advice in the comments for anyone who wants it. And thank you all for taking the time to watch. If you haven't, please do subscribe. And if you like this video, hit the like button so I'll know that you guys enjoy it and I can make more content like this in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.